Today I'm going to talk about the effects of steroids in men. Anabolic steroids have been used for over 75 years to increase muscle size, strength, and for certain medical uses, but can also have some serious negative side effects when used recreationally. The first person to discover synthetic hormones was a man named Adolf Butenandt, and he discovered the hormone androstenone that's found in male sweat. In the mid-1930s, a group of scientists got together and found a way to make the synthetic version of testosterone, and this became popular with the Soviet Union. In 1952, the Soviet Union dominated the Olympics in wrestling and in weightlifting. And in 1958, a U.S. scientist named John Ziegler created an anabolic steroid known as Dianabol. And after this, the United States dominated the Olympics and all the power sports such as weightlifting, hockey, football. But then in 1970, the Olympics banned the use of anabolic steroids. The reason I'm talking about this is Fox News reported that 5% of males in Minnesota during a survey said that of high school males in a survey said that they had used anabolic steroids at some point in time to achieve athletic success. There's 3 points I'd like to talk about. The first one is positive effects of anabolic steroids. Now, some positive effects of anabolic steroids are muscle size, gaining muscle size and strength, and it also increases energy. The reason it increases muscle size and strength is because the protein synthesis is more efficient. Protein synthesis is the uptake of protein into the cell. And when this is more efficient, people can gain more size and strength faster. And another thing it does is it produces more ATP. ATP stands for adenine triphosphate. And it makes you be able to do a certain thing for a certain amount of time without stopping. And the next point I'd like to make is negative side effects of anabolic steroids. Now, some risks with anabolic steroids are increased risk of cardiovascular disease, baldness, and gynecomastia, which is the growth of breasts in men. And gynecomastia occurs because when a person stops taking the anabolic steroid, their testosterone levels are shut down because the body thinks that it is receiving the same testosterone from the steroids that it did before, and the estrogen levels had risen because of this, which creates female-like characteristics. Next, I want to talk about, and lastly, is medical uses of anabolic steroids. Now, there are certain medical things that anabolic steroids are important to be used in, such as HIV patients and people with many forms of anemia. Now, the reason it's used in HIV patients is because their muscles deteriorate, and so they need something to maintain their muscles so they can survive and not malnourish. Although there are some medical uses of steroids, they can be harmful when used recreationally. I hope you guys learned a lot about anabolic steroids and its positive and negative effects. Thank you for listening.